Hello everyone. Today we'll be diving into an important and pressing issues faced by many countries around the world, including Indonesia, which is unemployment. As one of Southeast Asia's largest economies, Indonesia is home to over 270 million people, and the job market plays a vital role in shaping the country's social and economic landscape. Despite its rapid growth and effort to reduce poverty, unemployment remains a significant challenge. So let's take a closer look at unemployment in Indonesia.
Before we dive in further into our group presentation, allow me to introduce our group members. Our group consists of 6 members, starting off with Nur Nasrina, Carol Rina Danat, me myself, Farah Wood, Carol Hisham, and Alia Diana.
To begin the presentation, let us start with what is unemployment. So, unemployment refers to a condition in which individuals who are capable of working, actively seeking employment, and willing to work at prevailing wage rates cannot find jobs. It is a significant economic indicator that reflects the health of an economy and its ability to provide opportunities for its labor force. According to the International Labour Organization (ILO), unemployment occurs when people are without work, available for work, and actively seeking work. ILO 2022. This definition emphasizes three key criteria, which is lack of employment, readiness to work, and efforts to secure a job. So let's start with unemployment types. Unemployment can be categorized into several types, which are frictional unemployment. Short-term unemployment that occurs while people are between jobs or are entering the labor force for the first time. It occurs when people change jobs, seek better possibilities, or take time off to enter the labor force. This sort of unemployment is regarded as natural and unavoidable in any market, as people frequently switch professions for reasons such as professional advancement, relocation, or a mismatch between job opportunities and candidates' qualifications. Let's go with the second one, which is structural unemployment. Structural unemployment occurs when there is a long-term mismatch between workers' abilities and qualifications and the requirements of open employment in the economy. This sort of unemployment is produced by economic upheavals, technical advancements, or changes in industry structure, all of which can render certain skills outdated or diminish demand for specific types of labor. The third one is cyclical unemployment. This unemployment caused by natural economic variations over time, which is frequently associated with the business cycle. It occurs when economic activity declines, such as during a recession, resulting in a fall in demand for goods and services, prompting businesses to cut their staff. In contrast, cyclical unemployment tends to fall as the economy grows and businesses expand production and hiring. We will now start with background study on unemployment in Indonesia. So, unemployment is a critical issue that has implications for both the economy and social stability of any nation. In Indonesia, a country with a population of over 270 million, unemployment remains a significant economic concern despite steady economic growth in recent decades. The unemployment rate in Indonesia has fluctuated in response to various economic challenges such as global financial crisis, domestic economic policies, and structural changes in the labor market. Indonesia's economy has undergone substantial transformation, particularly in the sectors of manufacturing and services. However, The agricultural sector, which employs a significant portion of the labor force, remains less productive, contributing to underemployment and structural unemployment. Furthermore, the transition from an agrarian economy to an industrialized one has created mismatches between the skills of the labor force and the demand of the job market. High youth unemployment, particularly among recent graduates, is another challenge that Indonesia faces. The government has implemented various policies aimed at reducing unemployment, including skills training programs, job creation initiative, and labor market reforms. However, these efforts have mixed results as the unemployment rate has remained high compared to regional peers. Moreover, the COVID-19 pandemic further exacerbated the unemployment situation, leading to job losses, especially in tourism and hospitality sectors, and accelerated the shift to digital and remote work.
The first objective of the study on employment in Indonesia is to analyze the causes of unemployment in Indonesia. The study aims to examine the primary factors contributing to unemployment in Indonesia, including skills mismatch, youth unemployment, challenges in the informal sector, and gender disparities. And to understand the root causes is essential for developing targeted policies to reduce unemployment. Secondly, is to evaluate the effectiveness of government policies in addressing unemployment. This objective seeks to assess the impacts of various government programs such as Kartu Prakerja, pre-employment card, job creation initiatives, and labor market reforms on reducing unemployment rates and promoting employment opportunities. The study will investigate the challenges and limitation of these policies. Thirdly, is to explore the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on unemployment in Indonesia. The study will examine how the COVID-19 pandemic exacerbated unemployment, particularly in sectors like tourism and hospitalities, and led to shifts in the labor market, including the rise of digital and remote work. This will help understand the broader economic implication of the pandemic on the Indonesian labor market. Fourth is to identify strategies for reducing youth unemployment in Indonesia. The study will focus on youth unemployment, which remain disproportionately high in Indonesia. It will explore potential solutions such as vocational training, career counseling, and alignment of educational institution with labor market demands, aiming to improve the employability of young individuals. Fifth is to propose recommendations for creating a more inclusive labor market in Indonesia. The study will propose strategies to address gender disparities and improve labor force participation among women by exploring the factors such as societal norms, caregiving responsibilities, and access to education. The study will identify ways to enhance gender equality in labor market. Last but not least, is to assess the role of information sectors in unemployment. This objective will evaluate the role of the informal sectors in absorbing the unemployment workforce in Indonesia. The study will analyze the challenges of informal employment, including income instability and limited opportunities for skill development, and propose solutions for formalizing the sector to reduce unemployment and underemployment. Economic issues of unemployment in Indonesia remains a persistent challenge with a far-reaching economic implications. As one of the Southeast Asia's largest economies, Indonesia has experienced a steady growth in the recent years, but unemployment continues to impede its developmental progress. Structural issues and evolving labor market and global economic fluctuations exacerbate the problems. First is the skill mismatch. A significant issue contributing to the unemployment in Indonesia is the mismatch between workforce skills and labor market demands. Many educational institutions do not equip graduates with skill aligned with industry requirements, leaving a gap between available jobs and qualified qualified applicants. According to the World Bank 2021, Indonesia has one of the lowest tertiary enrollment rates in the region, which limits the technical and professional skills of the workforce. This mismatch hinders productivity and constrains economic growth. Second is the youth unemployment. Indonesia faces particularly high rate of youth unemployment. Approximately 16% of the individual aged 15 to 24 are unemployed compared to the national average of 5.45% BPS 2023. This issue is compounded by insufficient vocational training and limited access to career counseling. The inability to integrate young people into the workforce creates a long-term economic burden, including lost productivity and increased social support expenditures. Third is the informal sector's challenges. The dominance of the informal sector is another critical issue. Over 56% of the workforce is employed in informal jobs that lack stability, benefits, and security. OECD 2022. While this sector absorbs a significant portion of the unemployed, it contributes to underemployment and income inequality. Informal work often pays lower wages and provide fewer opportunities for skill development, perpetuating a cycle of poverty and economic stagnation. Fourth is the gender disparities. Gender inequality in the labor market also exacerbates unemployment issues. Women face significant barriers to entering and sustaining formal employment due to societal norms, caregiving responsibilities, and limited access to education. The female labor force participation rate in Indonesia stands at only 53% compared to 82% for men. ILO 2022, addressing these disparities is essential for achieving inclusive economic growth. Last and foremost is policy and economic implications. Unemployment imposed substantial costs on the Indonesian economy, including reduced consumption, lower tax revenues, and increased government spending on social programs. Efforts such as the Kartu Prakerja pre-employment card program, which offers vocational training and financial support, have been implemented to address these challenges. However, critics argue that such initiatives require better targeting and scalability to have a proper impact. East Asia Forum 2023. Indonesia's unemployment problem is a multi-faced issue that affects economic growth, social stability, and individual well-being. Addressing this requires a combination of policy reforms, investment in education, and a focus on inclusive growth strategies. By bridging the skills gap, supporting youth employment, and formalizing the labor market, Indonesia can mitigate the economic challenges posed by unemployment.
Next is economic theory. Unemployment in Indonesia, as in many other developing countries, can be analyzed through the lens of various economic theories. These theories provide insights into the causes of unemployment, the effectiveness of policies aimed at reducing it, and the broader economic implications of high unemployment rates. Key economic theories relevant to unemployment in Indonesia, including classical, Keynesian, structural, and efficiency wage unemployment theories, each of which offers a distinct perspective on the issues.
The first economic theories is classical theory of unemployment. Classic economic theory attributes unemployment to mismatches between labor supply and demand caused by wage rigidities, asserting that flexible wages would minimize unemployment. It views unemployment as largely voluntary, with workers rejecting wages below their reservation wage. In Indonesia, high unemployment rates may stem from mismatched labor demand and wage structures influenced by informal labor markets and low productivity in sectors like agriculture.
Next is Keynesian theory of unemployment. The Keynesian perspective emphasizes aggregate demand as the main driver of employment, with insufficient demand causing involuntary unemployment during economic downturns. It advocates government intervention through fiscal policies to boost demand and restore full employment. In Indonesia, this approach is evident in stimulus package and public investments during crises like the 1997 to 1998 Asian financial crisis and the COVID-19 pandemic. Next is structural unemployment theory. Structural unemployment in Indonesia arises from a mismatch between workers' skills and labor market demands, as well as geographic disparities in employment opportunities driven by rapid industrialization and urbanization. Key challenges include a skills gap among graduates and the declining demand for agricultural labor, necessitating targeted policies like vocational training and regional development to address these issues. Last but not least, efficiency wage theory. The efficiency wage theory explains how above market wages, often driven by minimum wage laws in Indonesia, can boost productivity but also lead to unemployment if labor supply exceeds demand. While informal sectors absorb some of the unemployed, they offer lower wages and less security, leaving a significant portion of the workforce underemployed and formal sector growth slow. The first practice is labor market policies. Indonesia's Ministry of Manpower and Transmigration has rolled out various employment programs, including job training and skill enhancement initiatives, aimed at improving the employability of labor force. These initiatives often target the youth and those transitioning from rural areas to urban centers. Next is promotion of entrepreneurship and startups. The government also encourages entrepreneurship through subsidies and microcredit programs aimed at fostering small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs. These initiatives are vital for job creations as SMEs constitute a significant portion of the Indonesian economy and have the potential to absorb a large number of unemployed individuals. Next is technological advancement and remote work. The rise of digital platforms and remote work has opened new opportunities for employment, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Indonesian government has been promoting digital literacy and expanding access to technology to increase participation in the digital economy. Last but not least, COVID-19 response. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the government implemented a series of stimulus measures, including cash transfers, tax breaks, and economic recovery programs to mitigate the economic effects on the labor market. These measures were aimed at preserving jobs in the short term and supporting the recovery of businesses that had been hit hardest by the pandemic.
There are strategies to address in unemployment in Indonesia, which is Kartu Prakerja for number one. Launched in 2020, this program combines vocational training with financial assistance to enhance workforce competence and productivity. It aims to equip the job seekers and laid off workers with skills aligned with the market demands. For number two, Unemployment Benefit Program, which are also known as JKP, introduced under Government Regulation number 37 in 2021, is Indonesia's first unemployment benefits scheme. It provides cash stipends, vocational training, and access to labor market information for eligible participants, aiming to support unemployed individuals in re-entering the workforce. For number three, Better Work in Indonesia. Established in 2011, This program seeks to improve working conditions and competitiveness in the export garment sector. By enhancing labor standards and compliance, it contributes to job creation and retention in the industry. For number 4, Youth Employment Program to Save the Children, targeting individuals aged 15 to 24. These programs provide skills training to open unemployment opportunities. They focus on the most deprived and at-risk youth, collaborating with the private sector to create job linkages based on market assessments. Number 5, inclusive economic growth. The Indonesian government emphasizes inclusive economic policies to reduce unemployment. Efforts include accelerating economic growth, expanding social support, and providing skills and productivity training through work training centers, also known as Balai Latihan Kerja of BLK or BLK.
Unemployment in Indonesia remains a significant issue with a 5.9% rate in 2023, down from a peak of 7.1% in 2020. Despite this improvement, challenges persist, especially among youth informal workers and in addressing regional disparities. Youth unemployment is particularly high, with 16% of individuals aged 15 to 24 unemployed, due to mismatch between their skills and labor market demands. Limited vocational trainings and career guidance. Informal employment accounts for 60% of the workforce, often lacking stability and adequate wages, particularly in rural areas. This reliance on informal jobs hampers the transition to the formal sector, which is key to improving job qualities. Regional disparities also contribute to unemployment, with more developed provinces like Jakarta, Bali experience lower unemployment than less developed areas like Papua. These differences are influenced by access to education, infrastructure, and economic opportunities. This COVID-19 pandemic exacerbated vulnerabilities, particularly in sectors like tourism and hospitality, prompting government initiatives like the Kartu Prakerja program. While this program provided short-term relief, the long-term impact is still uncertain. Overall, addressing unemployment in Indonesia requires policies that improve skills, create quality jobs, and promote inclusive economic growth to bridge regional gaps and support vulnerable populations. To address unemployment in Indonesia, a combination of short-term and long-term solution is needed. In the short term, fiscal policies such as increasing infrastructure spending and reducing interest rates can stimulate job creation, while expanding social protection programs like the Kartu Prakerja can provide immediate support to the unemployed. Long-term solutions should focus on addressing the structural cause of unemployment, such as the skill gap between job seekers and employers. By investing in the technical education, vocational training, and improving the quality of education. Additionally, gender equality in education and employment must be promoted, and the informal sector should be formalized to provide more stable and sustainable jobs. By implementing these measures, Indonesia can align its workforce with the labor market demands, reduce unemployment, and foster inclusive economic growth. Structural reforms such as improving education and vocational training, formalizing, formalizing the informal sector, and applying effective fiscal and monetary policies are crucial for ensuring long-term economic resilience and reducing inequality.
Unemployment in Indonesia is a complex issue that impacts both the economy and social stability, with high rates among youth, women, and rural to urban migrants. The country faces cyclical, frictional, and structural unemployment due to skill mismatches, underemployment in the informal sector, and gender disparities. To address this, the government has implemented initiatives like vocational training programs and subsidies for SMEs, including Kartu Prakerja, though these efforts need better targeting and scaling. Economic theories suggest that short-term fiscal stimulus and long-term structural reforms, such as improving education and aligning training with labor market demands, are crucial. By investing in human capital and fostering industry partnership, Indonesia can bridge the skill gap, reduce unemployment, and promote inclusive economic growth.